It's Rob again. I had a request from somebody to explain Bruce Cockburn's If a Tree Falls in the Forest. I have a version of it. I don't know how close it is, but it's the version that I use. So I guess that's what we're going to be looking at today. Well, first off, no capo. The guitar is in drop D tuning, so. So just take that low E string and drop it down 2 half steps. So let's get right to the chord positions. For most of the song, there's really only 3 chords. Low E string, 5th fret, low A string, 5th fret, and I guess it's the G string, 3rd fret. No, it's not. It's the B string, 3rd fret. So, low E, 5, A, 5, B, 3. So. Yeah. Second chord is low E 2, D 2, and still B 3. And then last chord is just a D, sort of. It's G string, 2nd fret, B string, once again, 3rd fret. So once again, E, low E5, A5, B3, low E2, D, no, yeah, wait a second. Yeah, low E2, D2, B3. And then G2, B3. The picking pattern. If you look at another video that I did for Lovers in a Dangerous Time, just look at my channel, find Lovers in a Dangerous Time. I kind of go through this picking pattern. It's somewhat similar to that, but basically you're going to be, oh, let's see, let's just use the D form. So you'd be hitting the E string. What do I do? Yeah, okay. E string with your thumb, and you know, Bruce goes bam, 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 bam. Yeah, let's see if you can see this a little bit better. Bam, 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 bam. But it's going to be, you know, hit the E string, come back, hit the D string. 2 fingers are going to hit the G and B strings. So that's the beginning of it. Yeah, so E, D, E, D. I think that's how it goes. And there's going to be variation, you know, minor little variations throughout playing this, and I don't know, you're pretty much going to have to figure it out for yourself. This will get you close at least. So, starting again from the beginning. Oh, great. Well, that's not quite what I do. E string, D string, B and the G, so back to the E, and then I guess what I'm doing is hitting the B, then the G on the way back up, and then kind of repeating. So. I'll do that for a little bit. Maybe you can replay this and try to match me. Variation here. Hopefully that'll be enough to get you a start on that section. And then of course, so, you know, the words, I did find it a little bit time consuming to get the words to even roughly syncopate. For me, I don't know if it'll be any easier or harder for you, but for me it was definitely like learning how to juggle a little bit. I'm not used to speaking while doing something, initially at least, difficult on the guitar. But trust me, with time, you'll get it. So yeah, he's like... Rainforest, mist and mystery, teeming green brain facing lobotomy. So... I'll bet you any money that Bruce probably gets the words exactly on the right beat every single time he plays it. He's that kind of guy. He's pretty flawless in performance. Me, I just use the fact that it's endlessly repeating. That if I'm a little bit off on one of the lines, I can just hang out here until I finish. And nobody really seems to notice that much. A purist certainly would, but you'll get by it. So anyways, he gets into the, if a tree... My voice isn't really worked in right now, but... If a tree... obviously I'm singing, when I do it, I sing it an octave higher, but we're just going to hang down here for now. So if a tree falls in the forest, is anybody here? Okay, so that's new. Well, it's like an A grip, except you're going to be doing it up at the 7th fret. So it's the D, the G, and the B strings all at the 7th fret. So, and then, let's see, the D at the 12th, the G at the 11th fret, and the B at the 10th fret. And then while you're doing that, just grab the E string at the 10th fret, the high E string. Well, it's probably not very much in tune, is it? Okay. And then all you do is play. I think Bruce, I've seen him do it 2 different ways, and it's been a while since I originally figured this out, so I can't remember all the nuances that I saw when I was deciding on how I was going to do it. But, I just finished this out with, a basic D chord, except you're playing it all the way up at the 14th fret. So, same as this, except you're way up here. Now, those of you who want cutaways should be relieved. There's a lot of stuff Bruce does. I don't own one. Wish I did. So, anyways, it's oh yeah, and always nice to get a little slide in here whenever you come into this chord. Just bring it up. There's a whole bunch of variations, and I would actually love to have time one of these days to revisit the song and learn all of them. But I just, my way, I just took enough time to cobble together a few. So, if you want perfect, go to Toronto Larrivee, check out his channel. The guy really knows what he's doing. Me, good enough. So a couple things that I do while I'm doing this as far as variations is, in the beginning, so you're just playing around with normal, and even in the beginning there's a place where throws this in the very beginning. Yeah, well, good enough. You kind of get the idea, so. It's an easy reach. I don't know. Sometimes I screw around with there's always these two-note walk-ups that occur sometimes in Bruce's stuff. I don't know if he really does anything close to this, but this is what I do. So where is it? So. And then towards the end, let's see. Oh yeah, well you just grab that high D again up at the 14th. So there's infinite number of tonic variations that you could do. Once again, if you look at Toronto Larrivee's instruction on Bruce Cockburn lead techniques, I'm sure you could fit in some of that stuff. Frankly, right now, that's a little bit too advanced for me, but I'm working my way up to it. Okay, I hope that's enough for the basics of the song. So I'll just spend a couple of seconds on effects, because you know what? I mean, you can do the song dry. I would never do it dry. But the effects really kind of make it. Last time I saw Bruce in Seattle, I had really good seats. And so I was able to hang out before a concert in front of the stage and take notes on his rig. He's got a Line 6 DL4 delay unit. The Green machine, beautiful machine. I own one too. And a Line 6 MM4. And a lot of this song is done just using those two devices. from a conversation I had with Trace Bundy out of Colorado, I have swapped, well, I still have the other two effects units, but right now I'm using a Line 6 M9, which basically contain both of those devices faithfully with some improvements. And you can run multiple effects in line, so it's a really sweet unit. Take a look at the Line 6 M9. I love it. I just love this thing. I also use it for my electric guitar rig, which is nice. But I'll stop gushing about that. Let's see if I've got tone. Yeah, whoop. That's a little bit too early. There. Okay, I'm going to move the microphone over. So hopefully you can hear me. So this is the guitar dry. So I add a little bit of chorus. Actually, I add more chorus than I ordinarily add. This would be like my normal chorus. See, here's a... Okay, I'm going to add my normal chorus. And there really isn't that much to it. I see a lot of people getting effects units, and the first thing they do is they just cram the effects on. And I believe in trying to use a light touch. But for this particular song, I've got a setup for something a little bit harder. You know, it's still pretty light from what I hear a lot of people use, but I prefer the tone of the guitar. But just a little bit of chorus makes it sound good. And for this one, I also throw in a little bit of, I think spring reverb. So here's my normal guitar. Here's with the reverb. Just a little bark at the end. For some other songs, I use a heavier spring, which is... But I don't use that very much. So just this. And then finally, the most important part is the delay. I don't know, something like 4 or 5 repeats and pretty widely spaced. So here, I'm just going to hit one note and you can kind of see what I get. So it fades out after about 5. You can barely hear the 6th one. So here I'm going to pound a chord. Jumping out. I'm going to hit the chord just once. Okay, so hopefully you could hear that. I see that I'm getting... Oh, geez, you can probably hardly hear me. Hopefully that came through. Now, this is a real mess of a tutorial. Hopefully this works, because I don't know if I'm going to redo it. So anyways, I'm going to throw all the effects in. The heavier chorus, the reverb, and I've got that. So this is what it's going to sound like. It's a... If a tree falls in the forest, is anybody here? If a tree falls in the forest, is anybody here? Is anybody here? All right, so that was just a quick and dirty tutorial on how to do Bruce Cockburn's If a Tree Falls in the Forest. I hope it was helpful, and that concludes this latest edition of the Pajama Monologues. We'll talk to you later.